Oh, what does Los Angeles get you for $1 million?
A tear down.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing.
Doing some in Detroit. It's like for $300,000, you get a house on the water.
Yeah.
What a magical thing.
That's great. My favorite videos of the conferences, jumping over a house.
Ooh.
All right. So, I mean,
Peak athletic performance.
Peak athletic performance. Great to see you.
It is so nice to be here.
Right.
Look, it's like just two handsome dudes.
Just two handsome dudes.
Burn. That's
For real estate. No, well, I don't even have that as a list of questions. What were you doing before real estate?
I was selling credit card processing.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember you said credit cards.
No? And when you say door to door, I'm assuming you're not going to residential homes, which would be interesting.
I mean, everyone should say credit card. But no, I was doing business to business, and I wouldn't say I excelled at it, but I did enough. I did enough where I did it for about 3 or 4 months, and eventually I found a real job. I mean, a full-time job in consulting. So then I did HR consulting for a while. And so
on the door to door, two jobs that will like get you into like talking to people and just helping anyone in business, waiting tables, door to door, selling something. We went to HR. We did HR. How long we did that?
So HR consulting, did that for about 5 years. Well, it wasn't exactly a square peg, square hole.
Yeah.
So after a little while, I sought some other opportunities. Maybe not fired. We chose to part ways. And that gave me the opportunity to actually dive into sports, which is fun because my degree was sports management. So I always wanted to try it. And so I started working with the Washington Haskins. And then eventually, my boss there, my original boss that hired me there, was by the name of Jennifer Spatz Martin. And that name comes into the real estate realm because her husband was Jason Martin. So I met Jason at a team event in bowling.
Hell of a run. Hell of a run.
Going after it.
And now we work with you. I mean, gosh, man, you guys just crush it. I mean, how many deals last year did the whole team do in total?
Just about 200. I think it was like 199. Which is like kind of like an infuriating number. But there's room for wanting to close more next year.
Hey, look, you always should have been in sales, which is funny that you were in a non-sales position. I was in a tax division for PricewaterhouseCoopers for a year. Oh yeah.
You use a lot of acronyms in that kind of business.
Let's just say I didn't get fired, but I was about to, and so I left on my own accord.
Yeah, you felt it.
To move up to San Diego. Yeah. So, but yeah, you got to find your thing, and usually those things work themselves out, and when you get there, that's awesome. I love it, and I love what y'all are doing in real estate. I also love your social media story. All right, so tell me if I'm wrong here, but it was not much longer than a year-ish ago. You didn't do a ton of social media, and you decided, I'm going to jump into this and go full-time. For those that don't know, you have almost 32,000 followers now on Instagram, tons of engagement on all your posts. I watch them all the time. Very entertaining. How did you make a decision, I'm going to do this? Give me the story.
So the truth is, I've been working on the social media for longer than people expect because I started a YouTube channel 4 years ago. And YouTube has been great for my business. Like, love it. You get a chance to sit down, create educational content for people to consume. And, the views is not what I'm going to get on Instagram.
Yeah.
But someone that sits down and watches 8 minutes of me babble about 8 pounds.
Yeah.
They might want to talk to me.
Yeah.
They might actually want to talk to me. So I've always believed in the power of video. And so my vision last year was how do we try to supercharge that? How do we get more people to my YouTube channel? And so I was like, well, it seems like it gets some flashes in the pan. It was fine, but it got 1,000 views. And at that point, I was like, that's more than I'm getting on other videos.
Yeah,
let's do another one. And the truth is, it was like the 5th video that I did that really just started taking off.
Yeah.
And I just remember being there in my kitchen and getting tens of thousands of views and getting followers. And I turned my wife and said, this is kind of nerve wracking. Like,
Yeah.
this is like anxiety ridden.
So yeah, we were speaking about virality, right? And so that I find it very interesting. So Mike Madigan, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to post this on TikTok. What do you think?" And he was about to show a house, and he tripped, and then like, I was like, "What?" But then like there wasn't much more to it, and that was it. 4 million views. I'm like, so there, and I kept rewatching, like, am I missing something? So you think about all these people rewatch this video trying to figure out what's going on, hits the algorithm, there you go.
I need to fall. I'm not falling.
Falling is important.
Yeah,
Right?
simplest things.
Right?
It's the simple. You don't know what's going to go viral. You don't know what's going to get a lot of attention. I'll shoot videos, and I think that it deserves the most views, and I'll shoot things that I'm like, nobody's going to watch this thing, and they'll do the exact opposite of everything.
Yeah, it is interesting. It is interesting.
You just kind of, the more you put out, the more chance you have to just play.
So on that note, are you using kind of Instagram to drive people to YouTube? Does that seem to work? Like, if people that are following Instagram, are they also following the YouTube channel?
So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
So like because of what I've been doing on Instagram, it's taken away from my consistency on YouTube. And so I want to now make sure that I'm getting back into being consistent.
Yep.
I'm 1 month into 2024. I don't have my first YouTube video out. So that's bothering me.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't bother anybody, but it bothers me.
Right.
So, because all this stuff is consistency. And much like I want to be able to get something up at least 5 days a week on Instagram, I want to make sure that I have one video per week coming out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think that is equally important. And then that marriage can play, because I can do a video, talk about whatever the longer video is, and be like, oh, if you want to hear me talk more about it, just go to YouTube, because I have a whole video on it.
Right.
And then it goes from there.
Give me some topics you've done in the past or might be doing on YouTube. Like, who exactly is it for? Is it for buyers, sellers? Is it for people in the real estate industry?
So mine's mainly consumer based.
Yeah.
So there are people that do videos for attraction for other agents, and there are people that want to be different. My goal is usually figure out what people are looking for, and then try to make videos around that. So when I first started, I created videos that I thought people should know.
Yeah.
And then I figured out that like that wasn't getting too many views. So then you start reverse engineering it of like, what are people Googling? What are they looking for?
Okay.
And then when you do that, you can then create videos based on what people want to see, as opposed to creating what you think they want to see.
Gotcha. So that makes a lot of sense for YouTube, owned by Google, obviously. So the search makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Can you reverse engineer Instagram?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because there's some ways of like, I've made videos that I think are really cool on Instagram that I think are helpful or funny or meme-ish and stuff like that, and I haven't been able to get them to take off. There are other people that get them to take off, like Kyle Toomey,
Right.
friend of the family.
Yeah.
He can get viral videos doing a lot of different things.
Right.
But my thing has always just been kind of like, give the people what they want.
Yep.
People have shown that they want to look at houses. I'm going to show them some houses.
I love it.
And then I'll add a little bit of Coleman pizzazz right in there, and see what happens.
When you go on listing appointments, are you pulling up that account? Hey, this is what I can do for you. This is the kind of exposure I'm going to get you.
You have to.
You have
right?
to. I mean, absolutely.
If I didn't, it would be just silly, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm going to do.
Has it increased the conversion rate, you think, on listing appointments? Kind of your channel?
I think it has.
Yeah.
I think it's put me in more opportunities that I wouldn't have been known about before, because I'm normally just referral. I don't do a big farm or anything like that where you're sending out mailers. And so I've been basically like sphere and referral. Now I'm starting to talk to people that aren't from that network. They're different.
Yeah.
So that's an addition too.
Cool. I was watching one of your like Airbnbs out in West Virginia. I mean, got me all excited about finding a house out there. Like, so how did that come about? Like, is that just randomly you were Airbnb-ing it for yourself?
So we were out of town because my dog is deathly afraid of fireworks, and that was the 4th of July. And so we booked a place, and this is reminding me I need to book a place for this 4th of July again. We booked a place, and I was like, well, why don't I just do a video of this place? And so I did.
Yeah.
And now I've done 3 Airbnbs. I've done a couple hotels, and those have all done pretty well along the way.
Yeah.
So I have a 2024 goal, and actually working on creating some tangible things with it right now, where I'm trying to use that as a mechanism. I want to be somewhat of a travel vlogger too.
Yeah.
Like I love traveling.
Well,
I wanna
Airbnb hosts need to hire you
Yeah.
and give you some free stays so you can do it. Get them, Airbnb hosts. It's obvious.
And there has been some people reach out. I just haven't worked it out yet. But my current thing is I am coming up with a graphic and a little takeaway thing, and I'm going to have a video that goes along with it. And so we're going on an Alaska cruise this year, and like they get lots of content creators on their thing.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of sitting there. I'm not like give me the cruise for free. That's not what this is about.
Right.
It's more of, hey, if you upgrade the room and you give me these things, or if you upgrade my package, I'm able to show more. And I'm seeing if maybe they won't.
I think it's a good
throw
idea.
a little. I already got the cruise. I'm not asking for a free cruise.
I mean, you're not asking
Just
for much. I mean, I think you should go for the full ass. But I mean, I think that would be nice. That'd be a good start.
So trying to work that way, and I think people can relate to that too. Like people want to see DC, but when I travel to places, like I've done one in Duluth, Minnesota. I've done them in Houston, Texas, or West Virginia, or a bunch of other places where I can show properties and be like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, seeing the price differences in different states, that's interesting, right? You know, like, what does Los Angeles get you for $1 million? A
teardown.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Which isn't too different than parts of DC at this point.
Fair
But like you get to do it, but like doing some in Detroit, it's like for $300,000 you get a house on the water. What a magical thing.
That's great. So I've seen you speak at a couple conferences, and one of my favorite videos of the conferences, and we're going to pop this video up there, is when you're jumping over a house.
Ooh.
All right. So I mean,
peak athletic performance.
Peak athletic performance. It was amazing. How did that come about? Did you edit that yourself? Did you have another videographer? Tell me about that, and then also tell me about where do you get your content ideas from?
So, I edited it myself. Very proud of that.
That is impressive.
I edited that myself. And this is a wonderful question. A lot of people find inspiration from people in their same network.
Yeah.
And I tend to not look at real estate videos to look for inspiration. In fact, I'm so fast to swipe past real estate videos that like my thing must think I hate real estate at the end of the day, my little algorithm.
Yeah.
But the people I follow are the ones that do like travel videos, like the kind of the stuff I want to get into. They also the people that are like editing nerds. So if you look at my feed, I would say 20% of my feed are people that are showing you how to edit things and like how to do cool transitions and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So then I see it, I'm like, that person, I could do that. I could make that look cool.
When you saw that, was it a house that you had seen, or was it something else?
It was something else.
It
was like jumping over a building or something like that. And like it's actually super easy to do. And they have like these step-by-step videos online of like, all right, you want to do this?
That's cool.
This is how you do it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I think I could do it. And it took me a little while.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I was actually kind of sore, which is funny because you're literally just jumping up and down. But I had to jump really hard.
Yeah.
But it ended up being perfect. It got some attention. The person that I was selling the house for loved it.
I thought it was brilliant.
They thought that was great. And it sold multiple offers.
I mean, you could easily be the house jumping guy. I mean, that could be a thing.
I could. I haven't jumped over a house in a while.
I know. Is that the only time you've done that?
That's the only time I've done it. Yeah.
That's interesting because it's so eye catching.
It takes a certain sky and a certain house. I feel like,
Yeah.
and like there has to be
makes sense.
the distance thing.
And it's exhausting.
Yeah. And it's harder because right now I'm just like holding my thing and I'm just going. That one I need to set something up. And make sure it's still and not get hit by a car and all that other stuff.
But this is really interesting because I just assumed you went to this real conference down in Texas and all these, video people are in real estate and you've just been, maybe you were following them to get some ideas, but interesting, you're following people completely outside the industry. I think it's brilliant. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of that. It's great.
I want to be a content creator, so I want to follow content creators.
Yeah.
I want to take what they're doing and then apply it to real estate. Because then you're up on the totem pole as opposed to, I saw an agent do something cool.
Yeah.
And then you feel kind of bad about stealing their thing.
Yeah.
But like this way, it's kind of like I'm taking this thing and moving along with it.
Have you had people steal your house jump thing in the real estate industry that you know about? And you probably took it as a compliment.
I don't.
Ish?
Steal's probably not the right term for us to use. Like in this world of social media, there's people that draw inspiration.
Yeah.
People draw inspiration from a lot of the different videos that I've done over time, and that's cool. The only time that I ever got a little peeved about it is someone did the video and literally took the exact same script that I talked
Really?
about and like repeat it. I was like,
That's a little much.
you do your own voiceover.
yeah.
Like, you don't need to say exactly what I'm saying, but hey, if that helped them get over it and kind of do stuff like that, that's cool. That's
I like
cool.
it. Yeah, no, it's funny because I think organically we're taking a similar strategy at Allied Title in terms of just like ideas, right? So first of all, obviously most boring industry in the world, title, not real estate. Real estate's fun. So very similarly, that's a hard word. Very similarly, we borrowed inspiration from laundry sauce. I don't know if you're the detergent out there. Hopefully you're happy with this laundry sauce that we're promoting you. But basically it changes your life because it makes it too great.
Yeah.
And then we are borrowing inspiration from Geico commercials that you just starred in, which were remarkable in.
That was a fun one.
That was fun.
That was a fun one.
That was fun. And it's going to be about announcers and Super Bowl week, and it's coming out next week for the Super Bowl.
Only thing that could be better is if the Lions were still there, but you know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We forgot.
Sorry. God, man, it looks so good.
It's fan. I saw the draft, and it looks. You guys are in for a treat.
Yeah. Well, that looks good. But I was even saying what also looked good. Are you a Lions fan?
Oh yeah.
So the Lions looked good in the first half.
On the first half.
I mean, it looked like a guaranteed victory. I may have had the money line. I'm thinking, this is easy. It was a great bet.
You were a smart man until you weren't.
No, exactly. That's why I wasn't. Which is why, that's why I'm betting so hard. Did you see this hilarious video of the guy? He's like a comedian, but he's yelling at Roger Goodell because he fixed the game. Have you seen this?
I have not seen this.
All right, it is the funniest. My friend sent this a couple days ago, right afterwards. I have never laughed this hard. And I couldn't even tell you the guy's name, but I'm going to send it to you. I'll even pop it up here, the actual video. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. I've watched it now.
The NFL is fixed.
It's
funny because it's true.
God, it is so good. So you're going to appreciate this video because I have a feeling you might draw inspiration from this video for future videos. It's so good. But yeah, he's complaining all about Roger Goodell, how it's fixed, how Roger put a microchip in the football so that they would know where to fumble it at the 1 yard line with Flowers. Yeah, man, it was great. It was great. But there's so many good points to that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So you guys are always emphatically title's boring, which is not always true because some of the calls I have with title companies from time to time are not boring.
No, they're not.
They're not fun, but they're not boring.
Yes.
Have you seen other title companies try to mimic or borrow inspiration from what you guys do? That's
a good question. I've spoken to some title companies. Yeah, it's a small community, small world. I've spoken with some title company owners who've said, yeah, we've been watching your stuff and following what you're doing. And recreating some similar stuff. So I take that as a compliment. I'm like, cool, I appreciate that. But I haven't seen, we've seen some things. In fact, we talk about this a lot where we have a client experience division and we're always working on and creating new tools for agents so that, we don't give you many reasons to leave us.
Yeah.
And so, you need video solutions, here's a video thing. You need retention plans, here's a retention idea. But what I'm seeing is other people are slowly doing some things we did maybe a year ago. But we're always constantly
You're moving the bar.
I think, we've seen that. We've definitely seen it. So, my thought is because we have a team proactively always working on the next thing, that, it's probably good for them to do that, but I still feel very comfortable with where we are.
I have a vision for a video for you guys.
Yes. What do we got?
So you have to do a side-by-side video of where two people are having... have you ever seen those videos where two things are happening in tandem at the same time?
Are you talking about closings at two different places at the same time?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
So it's two people and the video is broken up into two lines, and so you're watching both of them happen in the real time. And one of them walks into your guys' office and sees the keys and the thing and all that stuff, and then the other one you're walking into the office and it looks like you walked into a really crappy 60s furniture store. And then there's you guys you bring over a cup of coffee or a cold brew or a beer and stuff like that, and then there they have grandma mints.
Yeah. No, this is amazing.
If you've already done this.
Well, no, we haven't.
Okay.
We haven't done it. We've been brainstorming how to best do it. And it's Do you show them? Do you go back and forth between them? Or do you show them at the same time? But
I think it's the
it
same
needs
time.
to happen.
Like you have the same people and you have them walk. Yeah, it's going to be hard to set up, but you're having them walk like side by side and doing like similar but different things.
Yeah.
And so like they're sitting down in the shitty chair. At the same time, they're sitting down at the nice plush chair. And then like you have like the person that's like kind of looks like they probably smell on camera versus like your closing attorneys that are really nice and helpful and fun.
This is really, actually, I remember this now because we were trying to figure out the Super Bowl skit. Like, what are we doing for Super Bowl? And our concept originally was people were going to be at closing at Allied and closing at another title company, and there'd be announcers commentating on it.
Yes.
Like, oh, looks like the other title company gave him a mint from 20 years ago, or something like that.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying? So it was funny because we were kind of going back and forth, and then we ended up with where we ended up, which congratulations.
was
You were
great. It
amazing.
ended
You
up
were
being
amazing.
fantastic.
But no, this is good. We might have to continue the announcer thing. Will you come back for that? To announce on that?
Of course.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
Of course.
You guys were really good. You
All
and
day.
Jason were good.
Jason's got the background in actual sports announcing.
It was too good. It was too good of a setup. Like his background, you guys play off each other really well. Thank you for that. Also, I liked how you were interviewing on the 360 machine.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that was like the one thing I wanted really much. And yeah, it was good.
There's another one where I was getting chased around it, trying to do it.
I got to see that. I actually have not gone through all the raw footage. I've only seen the first edit, which was hilarious. So I'm also going to go through the raw
Gift that
footage
keeps on giving.
and pull it out. So you talked about Reel earlier, which I'm a fan of. Love their branding, love the look of it. True story about their stock, because I was thinking EXP has made this massive growth. Reel seems to have a better looking brand, and they're early in it, so who knows? Just math, right? But they do some cool stuff. They got some cool branding. In fact, on Cool Things, that one video that was made where they're talking about Reel shoes and stuff.
Like all the different brokerages.
Yeah, all the different
and, like,
brokerages. And
is it a shoe fetish or a foot fetish?
That was very well done. There it is. Do you know the people that put that together? That video?
Not directly.
Okay.
But it plays well, and it's true. I mean, you go to our conferences, like people.
Is that a real
people
thing?
are like, it's my vibe. Like it's like. So that we obviously, like any other brokerage, we have people that are going to walk around with their like suits and cufflinks and slick back hair. I don't have slick back hair. Yeah. But there's also a subset, and it's kind of that content creator mindset.
Yeah.
And the content creator mindset is a little bit more casual. It's a little bit like, it's not cheap. Like we're not dressing like slobs or doing anything like that. Like it's, the shoes that they're wearing are probably more expensive than other people's like nice looking shoes.
Right.
But it's a little bit more charisma. It's a little bit more about branding. And I think that's one of the things I really like about it is learning how to brand yourself in a way that's authentic. We talked about authenticity already, but you don't have to look or do things a certain way in order to draw in business.
Right.
People will be attracted to you because you are who you are, for the most part.
Yeah. Right.
And so we want to make sure that I had the opportunity to go in there and learn from a bunch of different people about how to do all this different stuff, and then the support that they've given has been top notch.
Yeah, no, I do feel like you're right that a lot of them are very good at video. Because I follow a lot of the Reel agents just because I've seen them at conferences or whatever, and so it seems like a consistent thing. Yeah.
And so a lot of that comes from you talked about stock. So one of the things that they do is they incentivize people that are what they call elite agents, which are some of the top producers in the company, to give back to the community. And they do that one of two ways. Either you do you do charity, like out in your community, or you give back to the community of agents. And the way you give back to the community agents is you run monthly classes on something that you're an expert of.
Oh, that's cool.
So then you game plan with the head of strategy for education, and you come up with a curriculum. And actually, they've pegged me because now, transaction-wise, after a year in there, I'm upper echelon or whatever they call it. I'm elite, is what they call it. And so they're incentivizing me by offering $8,000 in stock rewards to teach classes.
Yeah.
And so I'm hosting a curriculum of where I am teaching like my onboarding for new clients that are purchasers, what it looks like to walk through, because I have like a digital presentation that actually we worked with Panda Bird on to create and put together in terms of videos and all this stuff. and then like how do you impact the customer experience in the back end. So they're setting me up on like a 3-chapter course that I'm going to repeat 4 times this year, and it'll be recorded. And if you're in the community, we have that online world of where you can go in and learn. And so like you can go into our app and say, I want to learn how to do video editing.
Yeah.
And they'll bring up the people that are better than me on how to do that.
Yeah,
so that's been
great.
one of the cool things of like, we've missed that over the last little bit of having a big network of people that like I can look up to and like pull from on that.
I like a great collaboration. And here's a little idea that I want to figure out. We've been kind of brainstorming on. So we want to do these funny / ridiculous commercials once a month. Our Super Bowl one coming out, right? And we want to do them with people that we like and we're in the industry with. So we need to figure out just some kind of what's that next ridiculous commercial. Who are the people in the industry? We all come together, so we're going to be brainstorming about that. But one day, even though you already gave us another great idea, we got to figure out what that is. And I do like that concept, though. If you have 6 people that all have good followings and you're all shooting the video together, that seems like a good algorithmic, positive thing to get some virality. What do you think?
Yeah, you just partner and you go, and there's like people that like there's a good network of people that will travel around to different events around the country. So like we host Video Power, and so we want to bring in some people from the event isn't specific to Reel because we don't want it to be. We want it to be a larger thing. But we also want to bring people in from around the country that we know from our network, and part of that is Reel to teach what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so that's been a really cool way to give back even on a local basis. But yeah, that ability to brainstorm and cultivate on a bigger level. Your problem, if you want my candid,
Yeah, I want to hear it.
is you're so far above everybody else in your industry that like nobody else is doing what you guys are doing, right? Like they're not. So you're pushing the envelope, and could someone catch you one day? This is always the thing. Can someone catch you? And I always love that thing of like, they can catch what I was doing, but the question is like, you're not sitting there being like, did you see the 2 videos I made last year that were pretty funny?
Yeah.
You're past those. You're like, those are out. What am I doing next?
Yeah.
It's that creativity and that pushing the envelope and doing it over and over again. People can't catch that.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, and I think that's the one thing that we committed to in 2024 is we look back and we're like, hey, we had 2 really funny videos last year, and like, why are we not doing this once a month? Why are we not doing it twice a month? And so that's the thing that we're really excited about, and I appreciate you saying that.
Pull the audience.
Yeah,
and
what
like
do they want to say? Yeah, I like this.
Well, not even like ask, like when you put these videos out that are like the funny commercials.
Yeah.
Follow up with like, we loved it because of the Geico commercial. What are some of your most memorable commercials?
That's a great idea.
And so then like immediately I'm thinking like it's so easy a caveman can do it.
Yeah.
So like you could do something on that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
The Budweiser ones comes to mind, and like you could get cheesy and fun and everything in between.
We've been brainstorming. I've been looking through the old ESPN Sports Center commercials.
Yes.
When they're inside like the dining hall or whatever the case is. Like there's a lot of great things that have been done in the past, different industries that we can have some fun with. So we'd love to have you involved with some of those more in the future.
Let's do them. And maybe I need to do a tour of your guys' office at some point.
Yeah. Oh, yes, this is good. Tour of the office, got to do that. You're involved with a lot of things. You got a great YouTube channel, Instagram page. You're speaking on Video Power conferences, Coffee with Coleman. If you don't follow John Coleman, you need to do it. There you go. If you don't follow they need to do that. So we'll pop up that information. Tell the audience a little bit more about kind of yourself, what you guys are up to, and how to follow you.
Yeah, so Coffee with Coleman across any and all platforms that I'm on. If you don't find it, I'm probably not there. I'm even on LinkedIn though. I need to post more on LinkedIn. But follow me there. The DMs get lost on me. So if you ever really want to reach out, shoot me an email. So just john@jasonmartingroup.com. And that way I can try to get back to you as quickly as possible so we can either get a coffee or whatever the vice might be for that certain day.
And Coffee with Coleman, where did the name come from? I don't know the background here.
So I do love coffee.
Yeah.
But like the truth is, if I was going after drinks that I truly love and like couldn't live without, it would be Red Bull with Coleman. But like the alliteration of that wasn't quite there.
Yeah.
And so I started with the idea was like you sit down and have a cup of coffee and you're figuring everything out. You're starting your day, you're figuring everything out. It's where you meet people, it's what you do. And so I just always thought it was approachable, and CWC came about.
I've got something good for you. So my friend Michael Haft, CEO of Compass Coffee, he was a guest of ours not too long ago. He will give you a private tour of their headquarters, and it's awesome.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm going to set you guys up. I went and got a private tour. He was giving private tours to some other friends. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I met them last week, blah, blah. So we'll make this happen.
Let's do it.
Hey, thank you for coming on, buddy. It was great.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it, and
absolutely
can't wait for further partnerships across 2024 and beyond.
Absolutely, and we're gonna make some fun content together. I mean, it's gonna happen.
All the content.
I appreciate you. Thanks, man.